What's going on, guys? Slim here with a new video today, and today, you guys, I'm bringing you what I told you I'd be bringing you guys, and that's right, new Dark World deck profile. Those of you that have been an OG subscriber for years know Dark World is one of my all-time favorite decks. It's a deck I absolutely loved ever since it first came out. All the way back in the day, like super back in the day when we were just playing Gold and Silva and Dark World Lightning and all those crazy cards before we had any of the new support. Then flash forward a couple years later, we got the first Dark World starter deck, changed the deck, Dragged Down to the Grave was crazy, Mind Crush, Trap Dust Shoot, all these crazy cards, all these virus cards. And then more recently, we got the newer Dark World deck that brought in all the new support, all the new monsters, and it's been crazy, and it became a deck that I just love to play. I actually did play it at the last YCS, and even though I didn't have a fantastic run, I still had such a blast just playing it. I was basically learning the deck while I was there. And outside of getting de-shifted and drolled and, you know, dealing with Arise Hard and just not drawing the out, I think the deck had a lot of potential. Now, this upcoming format, do I think it still has potential? I do. Do I think Droll's going to be in everyone's deck? Maybe, maybe not. I think that it might actually be the time to play Dark World. Who knows? The deck basically loops the opponent's entire hand. That's the version that I'm playing. So it's pretty cool. We'll get into it. I don't want to waste any more time. You guys already know. Subscribe, like the video, smash that like button, you know, let me know what you guys think about Dark World and I'll hop into it. Now, just be warned, this is my first version of the deck. This is what I've been testing. This is also based off what I've seen from regional results and other stuff like that. Just wanting to give the deck a very standard, safe approach for the first rundown, and I think that some things will change, but for now, some things will stay the same, and I'll explain everything as I break it down. So, for the Dark World engine, of course, I have 3 copies of Rainbow, 3 copies of Genta. This was like the main new support that really just changed the whole deck. Being able to search for our field spell, having another big boss monster that you can just bounce back and do crazy things with was crazy. The fact that Genta just does everything, discard Genta, get Gates, banish Genta, discard a card, like literally just triggers everything, and then it resummons itself to make your rank 4s, which are actually like insane in this deck. I think this was just the best support the deck could have ever gotten. Like, it's just amazing. I feel like these are staple 3-ofs. And another staple 3-of, there's just no arguing with it, is 3 Snow. Snow searches everything. One of the most poorly worded cards in the game, but honestly is just insane. So you got to play 3 of all of these, like max out on all of these. These are just essential just for getting all your Dark World plays going. I think that it's just super important. Just all the looping with bouncing your monsters back to summon Rainbow and Grapha is crazy. For the rest of the monsters, the big monsters too, I still have 2 Grapha and 2 Silva, along with the combo piece and the real brick, the one Ceruli. Now, I have played versions of the deck where I played 1 Grapha, and I noticed I really missed it. I had some weird situations where I had to get rid of it early on, and I did not like that. I always wanted to have a second copy. I always felt it was super important, and the fact that you can bounce Rainbow for Grapha is crazy. I just think the synergy is just there. Silva and Ceruli are how you loop your opponent's hand. You basically give your opponent Ceruli reads. When it's on your opponent's side of the field, it makes you discard. So you discard Silva. Silva spins 2 cards back to their deck. You do that twice, bouncing the Ceruli with either Akashic Magician or Security Dragon. And then you can hit the last card with Talents, which we also play a 1 of in the deck. But this is just a pretty standard. I wanted to keep it safe. I didn't want to run the risk. I've seen some really good lists that play only 1 Grapha or only 1 Silva. In my testing, just for me, I'm not that lucky. I need to make sure I have enough of my guys to make sure I can get the combo off. So yeah, so that's why I'm just maxing out pretty much. 2 copies of each with the 1 Ceruli is perfect. I would never play a second Ceruli. I don't think it's necessary. There are some crazy combos you can do with the second one, but I think it's just unnecessary and just overkill at that point. I think what I love about Dark World, if you notice, all the monsters are huge. They get in there, Gates makes them huge, so pretty crazy. But on to the rest of the Dark World engine. Just to round it out, I have the 3 Gates, the 1 copy of Archives, and the 1 copy of the fusion spell. Accession. So the reason why these cards are so crazy is their discard outlets. The fact that this is in the graveyard, you can recycle it, is crazy. The fact that you can just basically use this as long as you have a face-up Dark World is crazy too. The way these cards are just synergized are insane. The field spell is the best, like the best card in the deck, along with Genta. Now, people have argued for just playing 2 copies. I've seen a lot of lists that had success with that. I just don't want to run that risk. I feel like Gates is so important. I go through all 3 Gates in the first turn. A lot of times when you play this deck, when you're comboing, this is a heavy combo deck, you run through all 3 Gates on the first turn, and you need to just have that fuel to keep going. So that's why I max out. on Gates, and then just play, of course, the essentials. You only need one copy of each of these. I never actually wanted extra copies. I didn't feel they were necessary. Like, you dig through your deck so fast, you're gonna see them, so it won't even be an issue. And then on to all the rest of the non-engine. That's all the Dark World engine. Now we're going to go to the non-engine. So, of course, it had to be Dangers. Now, here is where the deck is probably going to change the most. We're in a new format. I wasn't really sure where to begin with my Danger count, but this is what I decided on. So I decided on 3 Nessie, of course, and then I went with 2 copies of Bigfoot, 2 copies of Mothman, 2 copies of Chupacabra, and lastly 1 copy of Jackalope. Now, this is 10 Dangers. I've played versions where I played 12 and just played more. These, I don't think I would. Obviously, I can only play 1 Jackalope, but for Chupacabra, I feel 2 is fine. I have played 3 Mothman in the past, and I'm still debating putting a 3rd one in. You really don't want your opponent drawing cards, but honestly, like, you just need to get the 4s on the board. You just need to get your combo going. The fact that this is a 4 helps so much. It just does wonders for the deck. You use this actually to out Rise Heart. That's why this was so important. We even played 3 at one point. It's also just really big. Like, 3,000 is huge. Plus, it's just like a really good, like, just beater. It can just pop a face-up card as well, so it can out random floodgates and stuff that might hit you. But honestly, it's not too bad. The only cards that really hurt you, obviously, are going to be Shifter and Droll. Shifter is the most painful. Reveal a Danger, they change Shifter. You're just like, well, shit, what am I going to do? But, you know, you gotta just run that risk. And then Nessie's the best. I've played versions where I played Snake. Now, Snake obviously has no synergy because it's a 3. I know this has no synergy because it's a 3, but it gets you a Danger on the board, so that's actually important. But Snake has like no real synergy because it's a 3, so that's why I omitted it. But I have played it in the past. And Zephyros, those cards were just kind of like lackluster, especially Zephyros. Like, a lot of times my hands would brick, and like if your Dangers get sniped and you're left with a Zephyros, you can't really do a lot. But I did like what Zephyros did for the field spell. Being able to bounce a field spell and use it like 4 times in 1 turn is crazy. So yeah, that's the Danger engine though, and so far I like it. Like I said, it might change as the format progresses. And then the last non-engine monster is actually 3 Lava Golem. So the reason for Lava Golem is because they're not going on Rise Heart Pass, at least not the cash tier opponents I played against online. They're ending on a Rise Heart and a Shang, and you literally just Lava Golem them, go to town. This is also really good against Sprite. It's good against any deck that overextends, any crazy combo deck that might be coming out. So that's why I'm playing Golem. Not only that, it's a Fiend for Gates, which is crazy, and it's also an 8 for one of our draw cards. So I had to play it. I played it before. I really like it. I feel like it just cleans up a lot of the format. Not only that, you're not going to win every die roll. You're not going to get to hand loop your opponent. So you got to have a going second card that actually has a little bit of synergy with the deck, and that's what Golem is. So that's why we're playing it. Pretty standard if you've seen Dark World lists before, but I do really like what Golem brings to the table. If you're not a fan of Golem, you want to play the Dark Kaiju Radiant, you can do that as well. But personally, for me, I felt Golem was just better in this current format, just with the way the format is currently. And again, it can change again. And then the last of the non-engine is all the turbo cards. So I am playing 3 Allure, 3 Trade-In, and I am playing the Card Destruction and the Talent. So this is all just draw power. This sucks when it gets ashed, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Trade in Lava Golem when going first is great. Trading in Danger to pop a card is great. Trading in all your big level 8s is great. I'm just trying to turbo to the deck and get to my combo. Get Ceruli on your board, literally make it to where your hand is gone. You waste hand traps on the deck and I can play through it. Your whole hand is gone, so it's pretty crazy. Card Destruction is the most broken card in this deck. I don't even need to explain that. And then the 1 Talents. So 1 Talents, I'm not playing Thrust. I've tested it in the past. I just wasn't crazy about it. But just 1 Talents is fine. You speed through your deck so much. This is what hits the last card. Ceruli activates on the opponent's field, so you can just Talents them for the last card. Doing the Ceruli loop twice hits 4. This hits number 5. They hand trap you. This becomes live. Like, there's just so many good things you can do with this. 99% of the time, you're literally ripping the last card. You would only draw 2 if for some reason you are just running out of gas and you draw this early. So that's it. But that is the 40 card main deck. Again, this is version number 1. It will definitely be going through some iterations as the format progresses, but let's just go through the extra deck real quick. It's pretty standard. I'm just playing 1 copy of the Grappa Fusion with Diabolos gone. I don't need to worry about them ripping it. Same thing with the 1 copy of Muttcracker, although there are times I've wanted a second. I think this card is absolutely busted for the deck. It does so many great things. A lot of your end boards are Muttcracker with a Griffin co-link to it along with the Grapha Fusion, and that's enough to win. Your bouncers to get your Ceruli back are the Security Dragon and the Akashic Magician. Akashic is busted, it can bounce literally. You can literally put Ceruli here and you can put Silva here, summon this, bounce them both back. Pretty crazy. Cards are just great. Another really underrated but really good link too for this deck is Cross Cheap. Being able to revive a guy and just keep link climbing is really important. Like, trust me, like once you've hit their hand, you need to just create a board that they can't break, and that's what Cross Cheap helps you do. And then the all-stars of the deck really are the Nightmares, and I can't remember the last time I could say I'm actually playing all 4 of them. I'm playing Cerebus, Phoenix, Unicorn, and Griffin. Griffin is actually like my favorite. You're ending on Muttcracker Griffin. Like, a lot of times your field kind of looks like this, to where you have this up here, this co-linked, and then you have this next to it, and this is just like your board. And like a lot of times it's really hard for the opponent to break that. Muttcracker protects, Grapha's a negate, and Griffin just locks out so many plays, it's like crazy. So that's the reason for that. The Nightmares are insane. And then I do just play Skull Dread, not playing Appaloosa no more. I honestly never made it, never needed it. Skull Dread is just there to turbo through if we're missing a combo piece to put the, to put the nail in the coffin for the opponent. So yeah, Saryuja is pretty cool. Being able to special from hand is dope. Being able to get the boost with it is also really important. So Saryuja is crazy. And then the rank 4s, this is the best card ever. This literally just says draw 2, ditch 1. Yeah, this card's crazy. This literally, we make this if we have no other plays. Very rare you'll make this, but you're happy you have this just in case you get stopped really hard, especially if you get shifted. If you can find a way to get to this kind of buys you time, kind of like the whole Flunder thing that you try to do against them. So that's why Baguska's there. Exiton Knight, just when they overextend and we can play into it. Our access to level 4s is really easy, so that's why it does come up. So I kept it in there. I make it every once in a while. Giant Trainer, this card's broken. Literally says draw 3, you draw monsters, your opponent takes burn damage. You already know why that's insane, but this is just crazy. I mean, if you're making this card and you're drawing off it, you're winning, so it's crazy. And then this is the flex spot. For now, it's Hope Harbinger. I've seen some people play Zombie Stein. Either one, it's just kind of to have a negate, like just to set up another negate. Like if your hand is just crazy and you just end on so much, you can end on that board I showed you, plus a number 38 or a Zombie Stein for another negate. And honestly, at that point, there's no way your opponent's winning. Minimum, you looped 4 cards. You've got like 2 negates up for their 2 cards in hand. Like, you're sitting pretty. Plus Muttcracker protects. Plus Griffin is like a lock. It's pretty nuts. So yeah, so that's version number 1 of Dark World. I love it. I absolutely love being able to play Dark World again after so many years. I just keep coming back to this deck. I keep coming back to Grapha. Grapha's the homie for life, and I'm super happy to be playing the deck again. And hopefully you guys did enjoy. Again, be sure to smash that like button if you did, and let me know what you guys think of Dark World in this new format. It may not be the best deck, but I'll tell you, you learn to play this deck. It's really rewarding and it's really fun. And yeah, there may be Shifter. Yeah, there may be a Rise Heart. Yeah, there may be Droll. But we've played against all those things before, and we'll find ways to play around them again. But that's all I got to say for today, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned to watch me fine-tune the deck, and definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section below of how I can make the deck better and changes you'd like to see. And you'll be seeing the iterations as we continue on. But that's all I got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.